Hey guys, it's Thursday, so it's time for a table talk with Coach Angela. And today's table talk topic is going to be nuts and how do we incorporate them into our healthy eating lifestyle. So this topic comes up because I often have people stop me and tell me, hey, I'm getting into this healthy thing too. I stopped eating chips and Doritos and cheese curls, and instead of eating a bag of those, now I'm eating a bag of nuts. So woohoo! And I'm like, yeah, woohoo! I'm happy for them too. But there is a way to incorporate the nuts into our lifestyle, and that's not necessarily it. So I thought this would be a good topic for us to chop up today. So first of all, why do we even want the nuts in our diet? Well, nuts have a few different benefits. One, they're a good source of healthy fat. And if you pick the right nuts, you're going to get monounsaturated fats and you're going to get omega-3s, which are both great for cardiovascular protection, and the omega-3s especially are good for your brain and your nervous system. So those are both really good things to have. In addition to, nuts are a good source of both soluble and insoluble fiber. So we know that fiber is good to keep our digestive system moving along and to prevent any kind of traffic jams up in there, but it's also really good to give us a feeling of satiety, which means a feeling of satisfaction. It will make us feel fuller longer. So if you're trying to lose weight, or if you're even trying to maintain weight, it's a good way to have a little bit but feel like you've had more and not be hungry. Nuts are also a good source of protein. So lots of reasons for us to incorporate nuts. So let's talk about what types of nuts we would eat. Good nuts for your diet are almonds, walnuts, cashews, Brazil nuts. There's actually several different types, but notice the one I left out was peanuts. And please, I don't hate peanuts. I grew up with peanuts and peanut butter. When I travel a lot, peanuts are big in other countries, so I really do enjoy them. But since learning more about them, I made a decision to really cut way back on how much peanut intake I have. So here's the issue with peanuts. First of all, they're not a nut. If you didn't know that, peanuts are actually a legume. And peanuts are one of the most pesticide-laden crops in this country, in the U.S. So that alone is a big reason not to eat peanuts if you're not going to buy organic peanuts or organic peanut butter. Now, going organic will prevent the pesticide issue, but there's other issues with peanuts. One is that they do contain healthy fats that are healthier than saturated fat, but they're polyunsaturated, which is not as healthy as the monounsaturated fats. And as far as the omega-3s, peanuts contain more omega-6 fatty acids than omega-3s. Both of them are good for us. They're both healthy fats, but you want to have them in a ratio of either 1:1, or you want your omega-3s to be higher than your omega-6s. And peanuts are way out of balance with the really high omega-6 and really low omega-3. And then the big one is that when peanuts are grown, there's a type of mold that grows on the peanuts, and you can't avoid it. So even if it's organic, this mold still occurs. This mold produces something called aflatoxin, and aflatoxin in research has been shown to be carcinogenic or cancer-causing in animals. So, as I said, for me, this was enough reason to cut way back on the peanut butter, even the organic peanut butter. I encourage you to really look into this and do your own research and see what you come up with. Your health and your family's health is at stake, so take a little time and dig into it. So that's it. That's my spiel on peanuts. So the next thing is, how do we incorporate nuts in our diet? Well, one super simple way is just to eat them, right? But we're not talking about eating a bag of nuts. So what I'm saying is that you want to eat a serving size of nuts. They are still very high in fat. So if weight loss is what you're trying to do, or even weight maintenance, you can't eat a ton of nuts. So a serving size would be 1 ounce, or really easy if you don't want to measure, just take your thumb and whatever you could fit in the size of your thumb, that's the serving size. Unfortunately, my thumbs are not that big, but it actually does work for me. The next thing, try to avoid, just like any other kind of packaged foods, avoid packaged prepared nuts. If you're going to get raw nuts, you're fine, no problem. But if you're going to get prepared nuts, meaning that they've been spiced or they've been roasted, really take time and read the labels. A lot of times we're eating these nuts for the benefits of the healthy fat, but when they prepare them, they roast them or fry them even, in a type of oil that's not as healthy. So something like safflower oil or canola oil. If you read those bags of prepared nuts, you're going to see those as part of the ingredients. So, you know, really and truly the best thing is to get your raw nuts. And then I'm also going to link a video to this one that I did previously on how to prepare nuts before you eat them. The other thing with prepared packaged nuts is that a lot of times the seasonings will contain like way too much sodium or even sugar. So it's just best to get them raw and learn to enjoy them naturally. And then the other thing you can do is you can make nut butter, or you can buy nut butter if you don't have time. Nut butters are a great way to incorporate nuts into your diet. And same thing, you'll stick to a serving size. So we're talking a tablespoon. And I use nut butters as a spread. I love apples and almond butter, or I also use them in my protein shakes or in my smoothies. So you can actually have 1 to 2 tablespoons, but just don't go crazy. And another way to incorporate nuts is their oils. You know, things like walnut oil is really good. You don't want to cook with it. It's not a high heat oil, but it's something you can use as a finishing oil, meaning when the dish is already done, you just drizzle a little on top just for flavor. So those are some ideas, along with some good information about why we want nuts, what type of nuts, and how to use them. If you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them below this post or just post them on the wall. As always, I'm looking for suggestions for more table talk topics, so feel free to drop them in there as well. And I hope this was really informational for you guys. I hope this helps you out. So till next week, I'll see you next Thursday. Thrive.